Like
We
I wouldn't take it to get a beer with. If you know, like you know what I mean. Like I wouldn't go and get a beer with it. I would hang out with it, but I wouldn't get a beer with it. But do you know what kit I would get a beer with? Maybe a Guinness or something.
It's like what's the next one on the list here.
I figured we were just going up on our list.
We Yeah, well, we kind of are. So, so speaking of Guinness, thanks Fox for the good segue there. We're going to head out to the other San Francisco team out there, not the one that we interviewed, but hitting up the San Francisco Glens and their 2025, what I've dubbed Reimagined Classic kit for 2025. And I think this is your choice here, Fox. I want you to kind of
Yeah.
let me know what your thoughts were on this one.
Whew. Yeah, I just saw your that innovation killed it. All right. Anyways, so this is a great kit. If you're looking for a good green kit, perfect. If you're looking for like an Ireland kit but don't want to pay for Ireland prices, perfect. This is what you're going to get. I like the fine detailings. I like that they have the SF kind of throughout, like their logo throughout the
Yes.
detailing. Click on that second picture there. You could see that SF going through with the little lines. So it's really cool detailings in there. Now I know some of us feel that just using your badge throughout the kit isn't the most creative, but I feel like they did a good job with that overall. But this is the only issue is one, this could have been a really good polo. It needed a better color. I do like their cuff links. I don't know what to call them. I say cuff links. Their sleeves, but that it didn't need to be a black and white color like that. It should have been a polo. But overall, I mean, like this is a good San Francisco Glens kit.
Yeah. See, for me, and I'll get into this when we get into my score, it just seems a little busy, even when you look at the detailing. Because at first glance, I think this is just a pinstripe kit or a stripe kit.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look at it, I get more confused, and I did see a lot of busyness that I don't know if I personally vibe with. Now, this does, I think, yeah, and that's just kind of the vibe that I got from it. It seems like they try to fit in too much into this kit, and I think that's what really hurt my score when we get into that. So that's just my little initial take. I also would love to see them use a little bit more of that lighter green that's used on their crest.
Yeah,
Like that exact shade. Because like everything's a little off on the other shades of green throughout the jersey. That's just a little nitpicky thing, but I just wanted to mention that. So
yeah, that badge green's a little neon-y.
Little.
And I do wonder if that was one of those issues with like
different materials.
Yeah, different material just couldn't make that color.
Because like the stripe like right here is close enough to it that I can pass it. I just want to see more. I would love to see the black here, this black accent, be that color green.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'll let you start here, Fox, with your scores. Want to go ahead?
Yeah, we very different opinions on this. Design aesthetics, like I feel like it was a 4. I feel like it looks nice. It could be better, but it's a good looking kit and it's aesthetically pleasing to me. I don't think it's too busy, honestly. I feel like everything is lined up as well. But I hear your argument. Authenticity and tradition, I did give a 5. This is very San Francisco Glens to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like last year's better, if that makes sense. Like last year's came out and it was a beautiful one. And then this one came out, and as you properly named it, it's the reimagined classic hit. It's they kind of did the same thing this year, but just not as good.
Right.
So that's why the visual details, it got a 4 for me. It was kind of weak overall with the visual details. Like I like the San Francisco throughout. I like this little kind of faded line that goes through everything because everything is lined up vertically, but then also diagonally.
Yeah.
Everything's lined up, which is kind of cool. The innovation impact, I feel like collectors are going to want this. I feel like this is going to be something that I hadn't seen anything exactly like this before with the going vertically and diagonally. So it got a 4. Like again, it could have been better, but I mean overall a 4.25. I think it's a pickup.
I think it does actually remind me of some of the kits that had that My Adidas stripe. I've seen some templates of them. So to me, I've seen kind of something similar, but that's me. Anyway, so for my score, yes, I was a little harsh in what I said, but for the most part, this was aesthetically pleasing enough. It's a 3. It is what it is. It's a green shirt. You look good at St. Patty's Day with your 10 drinks on you, and you're gonna look like an Irishman. So you're gonna look good, and your design set. It's authenticity and tradition. It's really just a green shirt. There's nothing even special about how they do it. Like it's one thing if you're like synonymously like Tottenham, where you just have a white shirt, or AC Milan, where you're the Rossoneri and it's black and red stripes. I'm not. I don't know a team. I don't know them as being the team that wears green. I think there's other teams that have can probably take that mantle, in my opinion. But
Is that because you're USL League 2 though?
But
Is that because they're League 2?
no, it's
Like,
just something that it might be their tradition, but it's not something due to it's not something I historically know them for, is what I'm saying. I now associate them with having a Guinness sponsor at this
which you
point,
do.
which they do, which is perfect, which is why it's what it is at a 3. This one I could have gone down to a 2, but I still stuck with a 3 because overall I think it was well executed overall with how everything kind of sort of turned out. I could have been really harsh on this one, so I did not to. The thing that really gets me here, and this is why I say it's busy, is that it's even kind of hard to see the SF on the kit, like on the like through the stripes, because it's almost like just like a shade darker than the stripes that they're on. So
Yeah.
like it starts to look a little busy. Now, if it was inside of those stripes, maybe if they were that lighter green, if they were like, I don't know, somewhat more confined, it would have made more sense to me and it would have appeared less busy in my eyes. I don't think those sideways lines, I mean, those diagonal lines
Diagonal
cut
ones,
through
yeah.
were necessary, honestly, especially with the word mark in the stripes. I think it should have been one or the other, not both. And then finally, I don't think the black for the cuffs was a good choice. They should have either done that darker green that was used on the stripes, or they would have gone with a lighter green.
I agree with that.
So
I think the black should have been the dark green and white should have been the lighter green.
yeah,
Just stick with green. Green and
yeah.
dark green.
So that just felt off to me a little bit. So, are you frozen?
No.
Okay, might just be my side. Just my Wi-Fi always does suck. Because you're frozen on my end.
Oh, yeah, everything looks good.
Okay, then it's definitely my end. Nah, it's okay. All right, getting better a little bit. So, yeah, and then lastly, when it comes to innovation impact, there's nothing special about this kit, in my opinion. And it's a solid 1. That's it. There's nothing like unique about this. Like I said, this almost reminds me of my Adidas template I've seen from Adidas, with the diagonal stripes. It's just a simple kit. This isn't something that And it bothers me also with the crest and all that stuff. It's not something that I'm gonna write home about. I remember more last year's kits already more so than this kit. Now the away kit, when we get to it, I like much better actually. So, but with that said, I give it a 2.5 overall from me, and with Fox is 4.25. We did a solid 3.38 for the San Francisco Glens Reimagined Classic Kit. Any other thoughts here, thoughts before I move on to the kit value?
I mean, I can agree with most of what you were saying. I will say I was in a Whatnot yesterday, and I was watching a Jersey show. It was just so funny to see people bidding so high on past like pro jerseys. Like one was like a Man City. It was a Holland. It was that baby blue with the crest in the middle and the like a maroon detailings. Yeah. Very plain kit. I know it was Holland, so like that adds value to it. But it was an old kit that, you know, I just feel like people don't realize that the value of kits go down until they go up, if that makes sense. And people were bidding so high on those. Even teams that they didn't know, like they bid so much money, like spent like $90 on a Pachuca. Pachuca. I'm not going to say that right, am I?
No, and you said it. Pachuca.
Yeah, Pachuca jersey. And I mean, it was a dope jersey. I would have loved to have it for like $20. But it was long sleeve. And I feel like that reminds me of that. Like, if we put that in that auction, they would like, I don't know what team this is, but look how sick this kid is. And it would have sold for like $90 or something crazy. And I feel like to the casual collector, they're going to really like this one because, I'll be honest, because of the sponsor and because of the like pinstripe / I don't know exactly what to all call it, but I could agree with you as a kit collector. Like, am I clamoring to get this one? No.
I definitely want to get the away kit. The away kit's on my list. It's on my list. And if you know me, it makes total sense. Just saying.
Yeah. But I mean,
hey, what I will say here, as you're talking about the value of this kit, this is a hell of a good value still.
Right. I mean, $65.
Yeah, $65 for this jersey, for this kit, and with a pretty middle to table, like a little bit better middle table kit. This is good value, honestly. This is good stuff. Again, not just last year's. I think, as we've kind of talked about, sometimes when teams go hard one year, it is really hard to replicate that the next year. And I think that's what we're seeing here for the Glens.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to step up from where they were. So,
but yeah, so I do like this kit. It's a solid little green kit. It's not anything really special in my opinion. But the San Francisco Glens Reimagined Classic Kit for 2025 is a middle of the road okay kit, and I think that's okay.
Yeah, so, if you're a Glens fan, definitely pick this up.
Yes.
But if you're in the San Francisco area, we know of some higher ranked kids.
At least 3 of them. So
we're not going to get into the middle of that rivalry right now.
No.